All right, so I started making this because I want to talk about autonomy and women's choices. I want to talk about 50-50 versus versus being more traditional. All right, so I've been 50-50. I've been more traditional, and I've also just kind of held the fort. I've kind of been an independent woman and been a Barbara the Builder ass type of woman, right? So, what I can say is this, right? I love to be independent. I love to make my own money. I want my own stuff, right? But unfortunately, there are men who will they'd rather if you're the bread there's some men that if you're the breadwinner, they'd rather bring you down beneath them. And now both of you guys are facing homelessness, but they don't care because you're not the breadwinner anymore. And that's the whole problem. That's the whole problem with trying to control women's autonomy, right? If you're in a partnership, it doesn't matter who's the breadwinner at what point in time. Sometimes she might be the breadwinner. Sometimes he might be the breadwinner. Sometimes it's an even playing field. When you're in a relationship, it's a partnership, there's not one person over the other. You guys pull the weight in the ways that you can, right? And unfortunately, people get so caught up in gender dynamics and so caught up in this is what a man is supposed to do and this is what a woman is supposed to do. And they're not thinking about, okay, but who am I as a person? Who is the person I'm with as a person? And how can we work together with my strengths and their strengths to come together to form a cohesive union, right? I think that's the biggest issue. Right now, we have so much content on the internet that takes advantage of the past traumas of men and women. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna say nine times. I'm gonna say men are more likely to be doing the not so great stuff in the relationship, but women also have been in relationships and not done so great things. But unfortunately, the content right now is taking advantage of these past traumas and is just building resentment instead of focusing on the intentional healing. I'm not saying all platforms are not focusing on intentional healing because there's a lot of platforms that focus on intentional healing, but a lot of them focus on the rift and why you shouldn't like this or shouldn't like that. And that's another thing, even with the drizzle soft guy era, as long as I'm not being hurt, affected, or manipulated by it, I don't care. Like I said, I've been Barbara the Builder before. Right now, they look like they're just trying to look for Barbara the Builders to take advantage of, right? Just be aware of that, men and women. There are people out there that be like, ooh, you like to take care of people you love? Let me love bomb the fuck out of this person so they can come take care of me, right? You gotta be aware of shit like that. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to post a quick word. My takeaway notes. One, your relationship is not everybody else's relationship. What you guys decide in y'all relationship has nothing to do with nobody else. Two, in a relationship, yeah, there are gender roles, but they're not as important when you guys are a partnership. Okay? Sometimes the man's pulling more weight and sometimes the woman's pulling more weight. And three, men, don't be so egoic that you're willing to face homelessness just to be the breadwinner. It's not worth it. Okay? And I'm not saying that a man shouldn't be the breadwinner. If you want to be the breadwinner, that's perfectly cool. Kudos to you. Be the breadwinner, right? But I'm saying if you're not at the point where you're at breadwinner status yet, sometimes you might have to rely on a woman to pull her weight. I've seen a few relationships with it. It don't work for me. I don't know. It don't work for me, but it works for other people where the woman could be more independent and help the man out until he gets back on his feet, and then he gets back on his feet, and then they're supporting each other. And I've seen a dynamic where there's a man and a woman together. She was the breadwinner at first, then she helped him up, and now he's the breadwinner. So it's like you never know how life is gonna turn around if you guys build an actual partnership with honest communication. Don't sit here and hold it back and stuff. And then it's like, why do you got start? And that's the last thing. Let's start intentional dating, men and women. Because why do you date? Like, do you date for benefits? Do you date to find someone to settle down with? Do you want to find somebody that you could be happy with that matches and complements your personality? Or do you just want something that's like, I don't really care. I don't really like this person, but I'm using them for benefit. Unfortunately, that's why there's so many sour people walking around. There's too many people with that attitude. I don't really give a F about this person. They're just a placeholder ass bitch or a placeholder ass nigga until I get what I need, right? Unfortunately, there's too many people out there like that. That's why there's so many hurt people walking around saying, F these men, F these women, I'm going out the country, all this other stuff. We need to learn how to focus on healing our traumas. But yeah, before I go off on a whole tangent all the day, that's all I have, right? That's all I have. My advice for men that are healing and women that are healing, okay? And men, it's okay. It's okay if you're in a relationship and you fall off and the woman has to pull her weight. Just as long as you get back up on your feet, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. um, and with that being said, bye. Deuces.